What is up, beautiful Pisces gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. I'm so happy to have all the Pisces gang out there with me. Of course, anyone and everyone is welcome into this reading. Just asking that you bring a positive vibration. Only take away the messages that motivate, empower, inspire you, speak to you in some way. If you're not feeling that way, it might not be your message, or the messages may resonate for you at a later date, so just be open to that. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's try and have some fun. Tap into that Pisces energy. It's almost your birthday, Pisces. Well, actually, for some of you, it is when you'll be watching this. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's been a minute. I've been off YouTube for about 2 months, which wasn't necessarily planned, but I think, in a sense, it was by the stars. I needed a break for myself and, taking care of my health and all accounts. So anyway, we're back. We're doing it. Let's talk about you, Pisces, not me. All right. Let's talk about the month of March. Pisces, what's coming in? We want to talk about love first, love/relationships. I'm hearing cut the deck. Okay, we're going to cut the deck. King of Swords, an important decision needs to be made. The first message I get with this is that someone's giving you a lot of excuses. They're explaining things over and over and over again, but there's something about it's not true. I am actually hearing calling bullshit on them. And this might be sort of a repeat offense or a repeat offender where this person keeps making the same mistake and they're coming to you with excuses and maybe sort of their pity party. And I think at one point in time, there was a lot of understanding. There was a lot of sort of, classic Piscean empathy and compassion for the situation, but not anymore. You're done. I actually think if any of this is making sense to some of you, Spirit is saying, it's time to sort of, make that final cut or make that final decision that protects your boundaries, that severs, that separates, so that this is no longer a headache for you. Because what I'm getting is this is like the ripple effect or the ricochet of someone else's problems, their chaos, their whatever, and it is impacting you and affecting you, but you've reached a point where you have nothing else to give. I don't think this is your dilemma to solve, but what is the word? You may have sort of enabled this person without even intending or knowing, Pisces, because at one point in time you were their shoulder to cry on, or you were giving them counseling or advice or whatever, lending them money, letting them stay with you, whatever it is. But yeah, you've reached a point where it's I don't know if you guys can see this guy's face. If I bring it up close, will it focus? He's just done. He's just he's over it. This is so close to an eye roll. It's you're coming to me again. You might be dealing with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It certainly doesn't have to be. What else? And I did ask about love, but do keep in mind this could also be with a family member or, whatever, a sibling, a relationship, a coworker. So you can choose to view it through any lens that makes sense for you, if it does indeed make sense. Yeah, this could absolutely, with Knight of Pentacles, this could absolutely be a person coming to you for money. Or I'm hearing the word value. Value is particularly important. And I think I'm being called to say by accepting this person back over and over again, it's diminishing your own value and self-worth without you even, again, consciously realizing it. Because you do have a big heart. You do want to take care of your people. You want to help people. You are very compassionate. But yeah, there's something, I'm hearing the word skin and bones. It's almost you're spreading yourself too thin, or it's you got to take care of yourself before you take care of everyone else in your life. And there's something I'm hearing diminishing. There's something very draining about this person. I don't know why skin and bones. Is that the name of a song or an album? Or that's going to mean something to some of you. That could even be a t-shirt this person wears, or I was getting a Scorpio vibe there. I don't know what that is, but anyway. All right. So then what's going on between them, universe? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles typically to me is kind of a Virgo card. And I only mention that because I'm not saying, oh, this is clearly a Virgo, but I think of that Virgo energy and what does that mean to me? Virgos are the maidens. There's something very pure. There's something where you have to strip it down to the bare essentials. And I think that's what this is asking you to do, maybe to take on that Virgo and energy, which, astrologically does oppose Pisces, right? So sometimes that can be a struggle, is to really strip it down and give it some definition, really define what is this relationship, right? The King of Swords with his sword, his pen, right? He's very good at, words and literature, but really it's put some mental energy into stripping this down having a greater understanding, what does this person contribute to my life? How do I contribute to theirs? And is it equal? Is it balanced? Or is this sort of a scattershot relationship where this person only comes when they need something from you, right? It's something about the Virgo sense is to serve. Who and what are you serving? And in some form, right? Is it reciprocated? I don't mean dollar for dollar, right? Of course, that's not what I'm saying. But in theory, any lasting connection, friendship, relationship, there's got to be somewhere where you meet in the middle, right? And I think this is asking you, just strictly going by, the hierarchy of cards, you're a knight with a king here. So there is something where, okay, maybe this person was going through it and you were willing to lend them a listening ear, lend them some money, whatever it was. But at what point does this get reciprocated or just simply paid back, right? I almost get the idea that this person said that they were going to pay you back and they're coming to tell you that they can't. There's some sort of definitive conversation that brings this sort of blank stare from you where you're not at all surprised by the news, but I think you were really hoping for something more. Any Pisces out there relating to this? What can I put between them? What's going on here? Yeah, 8 of Swords. It's a mental prison. So make sure you're not acting out of fear. Again, lots of mercurial energy with kind of Gemini and Virgo. Where are you too in your head when your intuition, your heart might be telling you something else? Or the opposite. Feel free to flip those. But it's like a head over heart decision is sort of what I'm getting there. There was very strong emotions, or more like, I don't know if emotions are right, but yeah, like empathy was really kind of getting at you when this whole thing first started, or possibly over the years. But I'm hearing spinning out. It's spun out of control, or you're spinning out because you can't do this anymore. And so I think you have the universe's blessing, their encouragement to make some sort of final act or decision that will liberate you from feeling like you're in this position where you're always having to be the giver. I hope that makes sense. Some of you, this is just a really important conversation that you need to have with a person. Maybe it is, for some of you, it almost seems like you might be the superior over someone you're working with as well. And it could be that you have to give them some sort of critique, or you have to tell them some sobering news, and it's awkward, right? I'm not here to say it isn't, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go through it anyway, because ultimately the 8 of Swords, if you don't sort of get yourself out of this mental prison, or even if it's not, the mental prison, right? If some awkward situation, you feel pushed into a corner, you feel bullied, you feel defensive. I'm so sorry about that. Gasping for air, right? Like you have so much to say, but you can't. That was funny. Okay, if you don't deal with this head on, if you sort of deflect or divert or whatever the term is, it leads to the 9 of Swords, right? And that's just like anxiety's out of control. So as awkward or uncomfortable as this is, you do need to address it, very likely with a conversation and hearing the word stealth, but using your words, using your vocabulary, using your logic, your brain, not necessarily acting out of that, compassionate heart, because that has served you in the past, but and there's a time and a place for that. Here, not so much, right? We're dealing really with earth and air. So, Pentacles and Swords. So generally speaking, not the most like mushy gushy elements, right? Fire is right, passion and enthusiastic and sexy, right? Water is more receptive and emotional and nurturing, creative. This is like, again, strip it down, get down to the bare bones. What are we actually discussing here? All right, so let's wrap this storyline up and then we'll do another one for Pisces. Final advice or guidance I can give to my Pisces. And do keep in mind, you can reverse the roles, right? If this isn't making sense to you, but if you flip it, have you been going to someone as some sort of emotional outlet or financial outlet, and it's almost painstaking to have to go back and ask again, but you have no choice? I would be prepared. I hate to say it, but if this is you, I would be prepared for the worst. I think this person is going to cut you off. And there might even be, if this does have to do with, I'm kind of hearing weird things about money. I heard money laundering, but I don't think that's necessarily for most of you. There could be legal repercussions, right? The idea of jail, or someone protecting you or saving your ass so that you divert the law or the police or whatever. Obviously, I know I kind of spun in a different direction there. That just really kind of flowed out. So that's for some of you. But yeah, if you have a child or someone that you're protecting because of their drug use or whatever, this might be the final straw where they're like, you know what? You dug your own grave, now you have to sit in it. So anyway, all right. Final advice or guidance, then we'll move on to something else. Ooh, good Lord. Too many cards. The Four of Wands. So for some of you, this could be with a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a romantic partner. This could initiate a divorce with the King of Swords, who brings, that sword of truth, of justice down. Yeah, the Ten of Wands in reverse, this to me says it's a burden you've been carrying for far too long, and it really, truly will feel like a liberation, but before you start to be able to feel that weight lifted, before you can sort of start to exhale, there is one final confrontation, a discussion, you understand what I'm saying? Like there's one final, we need to talk about this. Because for others of you, I think this is saying you can't run from it anymore. The idea of being pushed into a corner, it's like you may have dodged this conversation because it's awkward, because you didn't want to address it, because maybe at one point in time you had feelings for this person, you were trying to protect them. Again, where is your protection actually enabling them? Really, really think about that, Pisces. Let's see, these kind of came in reverse. I don't love those. Let's see. Again, the idea of deflecting, of keeping it to yourself, it diminishes your value. You have to be very direct. You have to confront this directly because it allows you to stand in your power. Not just asking for what you need, but more or less demanding it. For some of you, this may have to do with an Aries. You have the Emperor. Sometimes the Aries can be a boss or a father figure. Yeah, there are some secrets here too. I also feel like this person who may be coming and asking for more money or asking for support, sympathy, whatever it is, you definitely have questions of but I already helped you, so what about that? Or the money I lent you, where is that going? And every time you try and ask that, it seems like this person deflects the question or doesn't answer it. Yeah, that's because there's more going on behind the scenes here. There's definitely some stuff hidden. So at bare minimum, this conversation needs to unveil the truth. And I actually think that's very appropriate, right? We're in Pisces season now, or it makes a harmonious aspect, if you will, with Scorpio, right? And Scorpio is all the diggers, the truth seekers, right? The detectives, the sleuths. They go undercover and essentially reveal and transform knowledge and information in this tarot spread. So yeah, especially for those who do have planets in Scorpio, a moon, a rising, something about that seems of particular importance. I'm hearing evidence. And again, there is, for some of you, there's a small thing with legal matters, like documentation that was forged, or it was said to have been put in writing, but it wasn't. There could be some sort of revelation about a contract, or again, if it's not that, and this does have to do with divorce paperwork, or do you understand what I mean? Some sort of legal documents may be enacted or initiated because of either the lack of action this person took or because of the action that they took. And so I don't know what the severity of this is. I would just say, for those who are feeling a little bit nervous, this could actually represent a literal punishment. I'll put it that way, whatever that may be. Yeah, for some of you, it may have to do with money at work, or some of you are going to cut yourself loose from a job that isn't offering you enough money, or they're promising you a promotion and it's just not happening. At one point in time, it's like this person wined and dined you or romanced you into thinking something, but you see the truth now. It's like they pulled the wool over your eyes once, Aries, right? The ram, the lamb, that's funny. But yeah, no more. You see this situation of this person for what they really are. And I'm actually hearing the word coward. Someone you put really high up on a pedestal, you learn something about them, and I think all feelings of romance are gone. Now you're just for a lot of you, you're starting to put your defenses up in a good way. You're starting to protect yourself and have healthier boundaries, right? All right, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully that helps some of you. I hope I remembered a timestamp, but if I have any generous Pisces out there who are willing to do that, that would be amazing. For anyone who didn't want to sit through that first reading, let's try and get ooh, that came right out. Happier message in love. Ooh, the Aries. Who's the Aries, Pisces? could be some of you, we're going to start a new love reading, by the way. So timestamp me now, guys. I love how the Four of Wands is actually still showing with the King of Swords. So for some of you, if that didn't make sense, there could be some new a strong connection, building some sort of solid foundation with someone who's very witty, who's very quick mentally, who's very, I'm hearing the word swoon, like very charismatic. They know just what to say. They say the right things. This person may have a very important job, or it's almost like you look up to them. Not even necessarily because of their status. It could be something like that. You know, they may have a very important title or an important position in their family or whatever. But it's for more reasons than that. It's you... I don't know if it has to do with their warmth or there's some reason why you really look up to this person. I think it has to do with struggle. It's because they've pulled themselves out of a very difficult situation. It could be they grew up in sort of some sort of hostile environment, or they had a lot of things to overcome in life. And so you see them as being very courageous. Thank you, Spirit. That's it. You see them as being very courageous, very brave, being able to do the unthinkable, something that would make you kind of, or give you pause or make you feel sort of, I don't want to offend you, but I'm almost hearing the word cowardly, something that you would, is that the right use of that word, like cower away from? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But something that would make you full of fear. You see this person as fearless. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the truth, but that's your perception of them. Is like, wow, this person has overcome so much. And I like it. Here's why, because it inspires you to do the same. There's some sort of important step or thing that you have been thinking about for a long time and contemplating doing, and something about this connection inspires you to go for it. And it might be slow to build. It might be a slow process. More or less, it's like you're a student in this arena. Because it's new and different, maybe it puts you a little bit out of your comfort zone. But I almost see this person as a really great mentor or coach. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. So it might not be romantic, of course, for some of you. For some of you, it absolutely is. It's just the idea of a coach or someone who's, you know, cheering you on the sidelines, right? This person is giving you like that gentle encouragement and telling you to believe in yourself and to do it. And you know what, Pisces? You do. Whatever it is, you move forward with it. And I like this Page of Pentacles. It looks happy. It's like shrouded in light and sunlight. And that word warmth, right? Aries is a fire sign. So whether you're dealing with one or not, the idea of the Emperor, he was, in my mind, he was once the Fire King, right? And then he ascended. He became bigger or greater or achieved more. And now it's like he's passing that torch. He's sharing that light with you. He's shining that light on you to go live your best life, to go chase your dreams, to go build or do that thing that you were always wanting to do. I love that. What else do I need to tell you? I guess we'll do one more. Your King of Swords keeps showing up. So there might be there are definitely two different storylines here. But this is about words being very powerful. And I almost see this as encouragement, or someone may write a letter to you or say just the right thing that clicks in your head. And there's like this epiphany or inspiration to finally go after it in ways that you feel like you weren't able to do it before, or you didn't see it from that perspective. King of Swords is very Aquarian energy, right? The fixed air sign. And Aquarians, like they have a fixed vision of what it could be in the future, right? They're very futuristic thinking. They're very innovative, very unique, very different sometimes. Something about those keywords I just gave you is hugely influential into you moving forward with some important step in your life. Some of you, this could potentially be a proposal. And I only say that because you have very strong arcana cards. So usually if the Page of Swords shows up with things that I specifically look at in terms of maybe a person or a zodiac sign, it could potentially be a proposal. Marriage proposal, maybe, but a proposal to do something more. And this is very strong Leo energy. I don't remember if I said that. Leo is very much associated with children and childhood. Again, teachers, mentors, that type of thing. Someone shedding or sharing their light with you. So yeah, I don't know, this could be something involving an Aries or a Leo, possibly an Aquarius. It doesn't have to be. Don't get too attached to those signs, because it could be a variety of signs, but those traits, those qualities that I expressed to you, those are coming through as quite important. Some executive decision in your life may actually open the door to this beautiful opportunity, and like, it was always there. This is a positive message, but I almost see some of you as kicking yourselves a little bit, like, why didn't I do this sooner? And you have to beat yourself up about it, because something about, it may have to do with this, right? If this storyline made sense to you guys, finally moving forward with like a firm decision, especially about setting boundaries or communicating that thing that needs to be communicated with, it could be life-changing. It could open some new doors that you didn't think you would be able to walk through. And yeah, there might just be this moment of like, I'm so happy that it's happening. Like, I don't even care. But I do think there's some of you that are like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? You know? But don't worry about it. You're doing it now, and that's all that matters. All right, let's talk a little bit about money, and then we'll wrap her on up. For Pisces, do I want to shuffle those back in? Yeah, let's shuffle those back in. Pisces and money. Ooh, I just saw the 10 of Cups. I did see the 5 of Pentacles though. So some of you may be struggling with money right now, but that you may turn a corner with that. Some of you may get some sort of generous gift or donation. Okay, and that could be for your birthday too. Like if money is tight, I don't know, you may get some sort of gift or some generous offering, you know, large or small. Someone may take a little bit of relief off your plate, you know, even if it's temporary, just to help you with money, or maybe it's more an emotional sense of, you know, helping you to feel better if you go do some whatever fun activity, hang out with the family, whatever it is. All right, Pisces and money. Let's give it one more good shuffle. Pisces and money. Timestamps, anyone? I'll try and remember, but it's hard. I never knew. All right, here we go. Let's flip this over. I feel like it's messing with my vibe. All right. What can I tell my Pisces gang regarding their money? Roughly in the month of March. Whatever needs to come through. What are you waiting on? Let's see. So the first thing I heard is waiting on a disappointment. Well, that doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't mean it's not happening for some of you. Are you waiting on something that you already know doesn't hold the potential you need it to, but do you feel like it's your only option? So in a sense, I guess I would say, are you settling? Are you waiting on something where it's like it's fate or finality has already made itself known, but you're wanting to go back and, you know, for some of you, I almost see this as leaving a job and then regretting it. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. Don't look in the past then. It's not time to regret. It's not time to long for the past and be super sentimental. You know, that Scorpio energy we're talking about, allow it to be a death and then a rebirth. But really, I don't know if I want to use the word rebirth. I would say a transformation. This change is going to lead to something positive and a good opportunity, but it's almost like you're in that awkward ground or that awkward territory of like, well, I ended the thing and I thought this was going to happen and it didn't. And so now it's like, I think it's not like you're clinging to what is familiar. Familiarity. Tell me a little bit more about this, please. Yeah, your spirit guides are telling you to be patient. For some of you, it's like an offer, and I'm going to read for money and career because that's what I asked about. For some of you, it's like an offer was made to you, but you're second guessing it and you're wanting to like charge or move forward back to an older opportunity. Again, like the past, like a previous workplace or with a previous coworker, or maybe it's like a project you worked on in the past, right? I don't know why you're so apprehensive to embrace what is new, or at minimum, just be a little bit patient because, you know, this is the crying over spilled milk card. That's what we call it in tarot, right? Every tarot card has kind of its little key phrases. I also call it the total eclipse of the heart. It's a little bit like, sorry about that, you get so in your head and woe is me and yada, yada, yada. But what you don't realize is that there's actually something good that comes out of it, but you're not directly looking at it or you're not wanting to address the good side of it yet. So sometimes this is healthy in that we need to allow ourselves to mourn, but with a 5, you want to make sure you don't get stuck in that state of mourning or dread or my life is over, because that's simply not true. You know, 5s are agents of change and chaos in tarot. So there's definitely more to come here, but I honestly think this is asking you to do the grieving work and then all the Scorpio energy, right? Shed the skin, right? Like the snake, and then become that new thing so that you're more open to, I don't know, opportunities that are surrounding you. Do you see the 2 of Cups here and then here it is again? It's like you're moving away from it. So some of you have, I don't know if it's a love offer or a business offer. I think for most of you, it's already made itself known, but you're questioning it. You're like, am I ready to move forward with this person or with this contract, this business, this project, this partnership? Because what if it isn't as good as it was in the past? right? Really mourning the past or sentimentalizing it. I would offer you this. What if it's even better? What if by, not giving it the benefit of the doubt, you're actually missing on what could be an incredible opportunity? I really think that that's going to be the case, and here's why. This card to me is very much like spiritual mentorship. It's like, if this is you, Pisces, male, female, whatever, I almost see this as like your spirit guide sort of, trying to point you in the right direction and whisper in your ear, like, guide you intuitively what to go after. That's what I think this Two of Cups is. But again, it's like you're refusing to acknowledge it or see it, or you just simply doubt it. Because something in the past at one point in time really made you feel jazzed or made you feel good, appreciate it for what it was, be grateful it happened. But ultimately, the Five of Cups says, let's not focus too much on that anymore, though, because essentially things have changed. They're transforming. So, best look to the future and not be super sentimental of the past right now. I think that would serve you well. Yeah, but you are like gung-ho to try and get something back that for most of you, I don't mean to be a buzzkill, something about it was lost, or this feels romantic, but I could also see that maybe it does have to do with transitioning from one career path to another, or, changing your role, changing your title, and then immediately feeling a little bit overwhelmed or out of your depth and being like, oh no, I just want to go back to, I don't want to be upper management. I just want to be the person in the cubicle again. And it's like, you can't go back. You have to go forward, but the universe wouldn't have set you up with this if they didn't think you were ready. Now we just have to get you on that page, right? Now we have to make sure that you believe that you're worth it and that you're ready to do this. That would be my best advice there. If some of my Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever, who's watching this are asking specifically about money in the month of March, can we get one or two cards? Oof, a whole bunch. I don't know if I can do a whole storyline on money. You're blocking your blessings because you're too indecisive. To me, this is a storyline that I'm hearing you are what you love. I don't know why, but that's sort of what I'm trying to say. It's like when you command confidence, when you own who you are and love yourself and celebrate yourself, everyone else does too. But if you're constantly telling yourself that I'm not ready, I'm too immature, and I mean that more in terms of like my knowledge, my skill base. I don't have the skills. I want to do this, but I can't. Like this attitude that's just really lackluster about yourself. And I know that's hard, right? That's a very kind of intense message to hear, but if you don't believe you're not worth anything, that's what you're telling the world. You're telling the world to walk away because you don't deserve the promotion. You don't deserve the job. So I feel like, especially during your birthday month, right, there's going to be a lot of I shouldn't say a lot. The Sun, eventually Mercury and Venus, they're all going to be moving through Pisces within the next month or two, right? I think it's saying take this time to really focus on your personal happiness. Again, maybe sort of that pleasant scorpionic energy that we're going to be trining by transforming yourself, by going after the thing that you've been shy to go after, but build your confidence. If you feel like you lack knowledge, we'll research it, right? I think it's about being very action oriented, especially when we enter Aries season, right? Pisces, kind of 12th house connections does represent endings and in a sense sort of this like entering into the ocean, right? It's the abyss, it's big, and losing yourself in it, but in a positive way. And I guess what I mean is losing this idea that you're not good enough, really going inward and kind of doing this transformational building upon yourself so that when opportunity knocks, or maybe it's already there, you go after it just like gung-ho, like this, only it's I love this. It's not going in the past, it's going into the future with this confidence. And it will require you to walk away from something that is no longer of use to you. And you don't need to begrudge it or resent it. Essentially, it's built you up to be who you are today and where you are today. But this cloak of red passion, right? You're supposed to go off and discover something else and, allow your fire to burn brightly elsewhere, because more or less this is emotionally holding you back. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a lifestyle, but you're meant to charge forward confidently, and there are a lot of eyes on you right now. So I can only do my best when I ask about money. Ultimately, I'm always going to get storylines, so that's what I see here. You need to sort of get out of your own way about the belief that you're always going to be scraping at the bottom of the barrel or something. I think you need to aim higher, and that starts with your belief about yourself. You need to love yourself more, easier said than done. I know, right? That's a big thing, but take this, take the time in Pisces season to do that work, to do the unraveling of old wounds and things you were taught and believed about yourself. Are they true, or are you using it almost, what is the word? Are you enabling your own inability to move ahead by believing things that they're not necessarily true, but it's easier to cling on to that idea because more or less it could be harder to actually take the steps to fix it, right? Anyway, I say that with love and compassion, Pisces. I hope that didn't go down too, or I hope that went down a little bit smooth, but I know that's like a big heavy truth. So if you're asking about money, that's what I got about money. I do think there's going to be big opportunities, particularly something involving like social media or it could be marketing or all these Piscean terms, like movies or celebrity, but this is the idea of like a lot of eyes on you. So it could be launching something publicly, it could be publishing something, it could be performing on social media or whatever it is. I'm not saying you need to run out and do any of those things if that's not naturally what you would do or desiring. But I am thinking it's saying a lot of people you're going to catch a lot of people's eyes, So put your resume on their desk or submit that thing because you never know. Someone's going to pick you up and by that I mean they're going to offer you the job or call you up and be like, yeah, come join the team. But I think your one last challenge is, are you ready to leave behind what you've previously been very married to or been clinging to? Just simply out of familiarity. Well, this is my story, so it's always going to be my story. What if tomorrow it's not? Are you ready to end that chapter and move on to something else? It's big and it's scary, but I think you should. All right, Pisces, this has been a long-ass reading. I hope you made it through. Guys, thank you so much for joining me here today. Thanks for your patience as I took a little YouTube vacation. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, book a personal reading. There's information in the comment or dialogue box below on how to do that. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.